In the coming months, thousands of restaurants across America will shut down for good. And we're not talking about mom-and-pop diners. We're talking about giants that once dominated the fast food landscape. Names etched into American cultural memory. McDonald's, Burger King, Subway, household names that shaped how generations of Americans eat, are facing an unprecedented crisis. A mass extinction in the fast food world has begun. If you think your favorite burger joint or pizza place will still be around by the end of the year, you might be in for a shock. Because right now we're about to uncover 15 of the biggest fast food chains in America that are dying right before our eyes in 2025. And the reasons behind their collapse aren't just financial. It's the end of an entire way of American life that simply doesn't fit our times anymore. Number 1, Subway. When was the last time you actually ate at Subway? For many Americans, especially working-class folks and college students, Subway used to be the go-to affordable option. Fast, convenient, and at least pretending to be healthier than burgers or pizza. But now, Subway is vanishing from the American landscape at an alarming rate. This isn't speculation. Since 2020, Subway has shuttered over 7,000 locations in the U.S., from a peak of more than 27,000 in 2015 down to just 19,000 by the beginning of 2025. And that number drops by dozens every month. Why? The knockout punches are relentless. First, the healthy menu that was once revolutionary now feels like a cruel joke. Today's health-conscious consumers demand fresh, locally sourced ingredients and transparency. But Subway still relies on processed meats, pre-packaged vegetables, and bread that contains ingredients consumers can't even pronounce. Restaurant analyst Mark Miller from Food Service Analytics told Bloomberg in late 2024, Subway has become the definition of a zombie brand. It markets itself as fresh when consumers can literally watch employees unwrap plastic-sealed ingredients right in front of them. The brand's reputation has also been destroyed by years of scandals. From the not-actually-chicken DNA test fiasco to the infamous Jared Fogle child exploitation case. As food writer Jenny Harrison noted, once Americans lose trust in a food brand, they rarely give it back. Meanwhile, competitors like Jersey Mike's, Firehouse Subs, and Jimmy John's have modernized with digital ordering, cleaner ingredients, and more inviting dining experiences. Subway, in contrast, clings to outdated service models, tired decor, visibly frustrated employees, and sandwiches that somehow keep getting smaller while prices keep rising. Even though Subway was sold to Roark Capital in 2023 for $9.6 billion, hopes for a comeback are virtually non-existent. Industry insiders report the new owners are simply extracting maximum profit while preparing for a potential liquidation. Not a single founder remains involved as the chain drifts like a rudderless ship toward the rocks. The real question isn't whether Subway will survive 2025, it's how many more months it has left before it becomes just another faded logo gathering dust in shopping plazas across America. Number 2, Pizza Hut. For generations of Americans, Pizza Hut wasn't just a restaurant, it was a destination. Remember those iconic red-roofed buildings where families gathered for birthday parties, Little League celebrations, and Friday night dinners? The place where kids with straight-A report cards got free personal pan pizzas? That Pizza Hut is now nothing but a nostalgic memory. What remains is a hollowed-out shell of delivery locations crammed into strip malls, with the dining experience Americans once loved completely erased. The numbers tell the brutal story. According to NRD Capital's Restaurant Analytics, Pizza Hut has closed over 1,200 locations in the past 3 years alone. Their remaining 6,100 U.S. locations are projected to shrink by another 1,000 before the end of 2025. Pizza Hut's decline represents the most dramatic identity crisis in American fast food, says restaurant industry analyst Melissa Chen. They've abandoned everything that once made them special in a desperate attempt to compete with Domino's delivery model and failed spectacularly at it. The company's sit-down restaurants, once the cornerstone of their business, have been systematically eliminated in favor of delivery-focused stores that can't match the efficiency of Domino's or the quality of local pizzerias. The famous buffet, the arcade games, the pitcher of soda for the whole family, all gone. Even worse, the quality has plummeted just as prices have skyrocketed. A large Pizza Hut pizza now averages $18.99, nearly 70% higher than in 2020, while using cheaper ingredients and smaller portion sizes. Social media is filled with customer photos showing pitiful toppings distribution and undercooked dough. One viral TikTok from January 2025 showed a Pizza Hut Supreme Pizza with just 4 pepperoni slices and a sprinkle of vegetables, garnering over 12 million views and the trending hashtag #HashPizzaButtwear. Parent company, Yum. Brand's quarterly reports show Pizza Hut's same-store sales have declined for 9 consecutive quarters. Internal documents leaked to Restaurant Business Magazine reveal executives are considering rebranding struggling locations or selling them off entirely. The pizza market has evolved dramatically, explains food industry consultant Raj Patel. Gen Z consumers want either authentic artisanal pizza they can brag about on social media, or they want the absolute cheapest, fastest delivery option. Pizza Hut occupies an awkward middle ground that appeals to almost no one in 2025. Unless Pizza Hut can recapture what once made it special, the red roof will soon be nothing but a distant American memory. Number 3. Burger King. Home of the Whopper might soon need a new slogan, home of the shuttered storefronts. Burger King, once the proud challenger to McDonald's crown, is facing a collapse so severe that industry insiders question whether the chain will survive in its current form beyond 2025. What went wrong? According to Restaurant Business Intelligence, Burger King has closed over 700 U.S. locations since 2022, with another 400 slated for closure this year. More telling is that Burger King's average unit volume, the amount each restaurant makes annually, has dropped to $1.4 million, compared to McDonald's $3.3 million per store. Burger King's identity crisis is almost painful to watch, says fast food analyst Trevor Martin. They can't decide if they're competing with McDonald's on price, Wendy's on quality, or Five Guys on premium burgers, so they fail at all three. The chain's constant menu changes have alienated loyal customers while failing to attract new ones. In 2024 alone, Burger King introduced and then discontinued over 30 menu items, creating what industry insiders call menu whiplash. Their app regularly ranks lowest in user satisfaction among major fast food chains, with a dismal 2.1-star rating as of March 2025. Franchisees are in open revolt. A January 2025 class action lawsuit filed by over 1,000 Burger King franchisees alleges that parent company Restaurant Brands International forced store renovations costing up to $1.2 million per location while providing grossly inadequate marketing support and sabotaging franchisee profitability with unprofitable promotions. Former Burger King district manager Sarah Johnson revealed in a viral LinkedIn post that many locations are purposely being run into the ground. Corporate knows these stores won't survive, but doesn't want to pay severance, so they're strangling them slowly with impossible performance metrics. The restaurants themselves have become notorious for poor maintenance and cleanliness. Health inspection data compiled by Consumer Watch shows Burger King locations received critical violations at nearly twice the industry average in 2024, with issues ranging from pest infestations to improper food handling temperatures. Even the Whopper, once Burger King's crown jewel, has become a shadow of itself. Social media is filled with customer complaints about shrinking patty sizes, dubbed Whopper shrinkflation, alongside price increases that have pushed the sandwich-only price to $7.99 in most markets. Burger King is caught in a death spiral, explains retail analyst Patricia Gomez. They can't attract customers without investing in better ingredients and store experiences, but they can't afford those investments without more customers. Something has to give, and it's likely to be the chain itself. Number 4. Wendy's. The red-headed girl with pigtails has been an American fast food icon since 1969. But by 2025, Wendy's is showing all the signs of a brand on the verge of major contraction, or worse. According to Technomics restaurant data, Wendy's has already shuttered over 300 locations in the past 18 months, bringing their U.S. restaurant count below 5,500 for the first time since 2008. Internal company projections leaked to Wall Street Journal suggest another 500 closures planned before the end of the year. Wendy's biggest problem is that they've lost what once made them special, explains fast food historian David Carroll. Their fresh, never-frozen beef was revolutionary in the 1980s, but now every fast food chain makes similar claims while Wendy's quality has actually declined. The situation became so desperate that in late 2024, Wendy's quietly began testing frozen beef patties in select markets, a move that betrays the very foundation of their brand identity. When the news leaked in February 2025, the resulting social media backlash was swift and brutal, with the hashtag #FrozenWendy's trending for days. Customer satisfaction has plummeted alongside quality. The American Customer Satisfaction Index shows Wendy's score dropping from 77 in 2020 to just 68 in early 2025, the steepest decline of any major fast food chain. Online reviews consistently criticize understaffed restaurants, incorrect orders, and dramatically smaller portion sizes. I've been eating Wendy's since I was a kid, but my last junior bacon cheeseburger was practically microscopic, reads one viral Reddit post with over 50,000 upvotes. The patty was the size of a $50 coin, and I counted exactly 2 pieces of bacon. Behind the scenes, Wendy's franchise system is showing cracks. The National Wendy's Franchisee Association issued a rare public statement in January 2025 criticizing corporate leadership for unrealistic growth expectations and promotional programs that destroy profitability at the store level. Financial reports reveal the chain's breakfast initiative, launched with great fanfare in 2020, has been a costly failure. Despite investing over $200 million in equipment and marketing, breakfast now accounts for less than 7% of daily sales, far below the 20% target needed to justify the expense. Wendy's attempted to compete on too many fronts simultaneously, says restaurant consultant Elena Vasquez. They tried to be faster than McDonald's, higher quality than Burger King, and more innovative than newer chains, stretching themselves too thin in the process. Unless Wendy's can reconnect with its core identity and address fundamental operational issues, the pigtailed logo may join the growing graveyard of once-beloved American fast food chains. Number 5. Taco Bell. Few fast food chains have inspired such passionate devotion as Taco Bell. From college students' late-night cravings to the cult-like following of limited-time menu items, Taco Bell has been America's fast food Mexican fix for decades. But in 2025, even this cultural icon is showing alarming signs of distress. Since mid-2023, Taco Bell has closed over 200 locations across the United States, with another 350 marked for closure by the end of 2025, according to internal documents obtained by Fast Food Industry Quarterly. Same-store sales have declined for 6 consecutive quarters, a previously unthinkable slump for a chain that was once Yum! Brand's most reliable performer. Taco Bell's problems start with ingredient costs, explains supply chain analyst Marcus Wong. The price of beef, cheese, and produce has increased by over 40% since 2020, hitting Taco Bell particularly hard due to their reliance on these inputs. When your entire menu revolves around ground beef and cheese, there's no place to hide from these inflationary pressures. Rather than absorbing these costs, Taco Bell has resorted to dramatic portion reductions. The shrinkflation has become so severe that it spurred an entire social media movement. The subreddit RR Taco Bell shrinkage has grown to over 300,000 members who document the incredible shrinking sizes of everything from burritos to nachos. One particularly damning viral comparison showed a 2019 Crunchwrap Supreme next to a 2025 version, revealing a product nearly 40% smaller while costing $2 more. It's practically a Crunchwrap Junior now, quipped the poster in a video that garnered over 15 million views. Quality issues have further eroded customer loyalty. Health Department records compiled by Consumer Safety Watch reveal that Taco Bell locations received critical violations at 22% of inspections in 2024, significantly above the industry average of 14%. Common violations included improper food temperatures, cross-contamination, and employees not following hand-washing protocols. The chain's innovation pipeline, once a reliable source of social media buzz and customer excitement, has run dry. Former product development chef Miguel Sanchez, who left the company in 2023, told Restaurant Insider, "Corporate became so risk-averse that truly innovative ideas were routinely rejected. Everything had to be a minor variation of existing products using the same ingredients just arranged differently." Even Taco Bell's value proposition has evaporated. The once famous dollar menu has been replaced by a cravings value menu, where nothing actually costs $1. The cheapest items start at $2.49, a price point that puts Taco Bell in direct competition with fast casual restaurants offering higher quality food. Taco Bell is caught in the worst possible position, says restaurant economist Dr. Emily Chen. They've alienated value customers through price increases while simultaneously driving away quality-focused consumers through portion and ingredient compromises. Without a dramatic course correction, we're witnessing the beginning of the end for a chain that once seemed invincible. Number 6. Dunkin', formerly Dunkin' Donuts. America may have once run on Dunkin', but in 2025, this iconic chain is running on fumes. The brand that built its identity around affordable coffee and donuts has lost its way and its customers. According to retail analytics firm Placer.ai, foot traffic at Dunkin' locations has fallen by 26% since 2022, with the steepest declines in the Northeast, once the brand's unassailable stronghold. The chain has already closed over 450 locations nationwide in the past 2 years, with internal documents projecting another 600 closures by year-end. Dunkin' made a critical strategic error when they tried to go upmarket, explains coffee industry analyst Jennifer Powell. They abandoned their core identity as America's working-class coffee shop to chase Starbucks customers with specialty drinks and premium pricing. In the process, they lost their loyal base without successfully attracting the new customers they wanted. The 2018 rebranding from Dunkin' Donuts to simply Dunkin' signaled this identity crisis. The chain that built its reputation on donuts literally removed them from its name in a misguided attempt to reposition as a beverage-focused concept. Meanwhile, the quality of their signature item, the donuts themselves, has noticeably declined. Former Dunkin' supply chain director Thomas Reynolds revealed in an industry conference that in 2022, the company switched to cheaper donut mixes with increased water content and reduced egg solids to cut costs. The goal was to reduce ingredient costs by 22% while maintaining the appearance of the same product, Reynolds stated. But customers absolutely noticed the difference. Social media is filled with complaints about stale, smaller donuts with less filling and thinner icing. One viral TikTok from February 2025 showed a jelly donut with barely a teaspoon of filling, garnering 8 million views and the trending hashtag #DunkinDeception. Even the coffee, Dunkin's core product, has suffered. In Consumer Reports' 2025 coffee chain ranking, Dunkin' placed 14th out of 17 national chains for coffee quality, with tasters describing it as watery, bitter, and inconsistent between locations. The brand's attempt to compete with Starbucks on specialty beverages has failed spectacularly. Their expanded menu boards create long wait times without delivering on quality or consistency. The average Dunkin' now takes 4.2 minutes to fulfill a mobile order, nearly twice the time of 5 years ago, while offering products that customers rate significantly lower than competitors. Dunkin' is dying because it forgot what made it special in the first place, says retail strategist Michael Barnes. Americans loved Dunkin' because it was unpretentious, affordable, and reliable. The pink and orange logo meant consistent coffee and fresh donuts for everyday people. By chasing Starbucks customers with $7 lattes and avocado toast while simultaneously cutting corners on their core products, they've created a brand that appeals to no one. Unless Dunkin' can reconnect with its working-class roots while addressing serious quality issues, America may soon stop running on Dunkin' altogether. Number 7. KFC. The Colonel's secret recipe might remain a mystery, but there's no secret about what's happening to KFC in 2025. A rapid, alarming decline that threatens the very existence of this American fast food institution. According to location data compiled by CoreSite Research, KFC has shuttered over 600 U.S. restaurants since 2022, bringing their domestic store count below 3,500 for the first time since the early 1980s. Even more concerning, KFC's parent company, Yum! Brands has stopped disclosing same-store sales figures for KFC specifically, a move analysts interpret as concealing just how bad the situation has become. KFC's problems start with their core product, the chicken itself, explains food industry consultant Alicia Rodriguez. Americans are increasingly aware of and concerned about poultry farming practices, antibiotic use, and processing methods. KFC has failed to address these concerns in a meaningful way, while competitors like Chick-fil-A and Popeyes have successfully positioned themselves as offering higher-quality chicken products. The quality issues extend beyond sourcing to preparation and consistency. Social media is flooded with customer complaints about undercooked chicken, excessive greasiness, and wildly inconsistent portion sizes. The Reddit community r/KFC Disasters has grown to over 200,000 members who share photos of particularly egregious examples. One viral post from March 2025 showed a 3-piece meal with pieces so small they were barely larger than chicken nuggets. "I paid $13.99 for what looks like samples from the kids' menu," wrote the poster in a complaint that resonated with thousands of similarly disappointed customers. The chain's endless cycle of new menu items and limited-time offerings has created what industry insiders call innovation fatigue. KFC has launched and discontinued over 40 different chicken products in the past 3 years alone, from donut chicken sandwiches to mac and cheese bowls to various international flavors that confused rather than excited American consumers. KFC is desperately throwing ideas at the wall to see what sticks, says fast food journalist Carlos Mendez. But in doing so, they've neglected their fundamental offering: simple, well-executed fried chicken and the basics of restaurant operations. Those operational issues have become impossible to ignore. Health inspection records across 15 major U.S. cities show KFC locations failing inspections at nearly 3 times the rate of other quick-service restaurants. Common violations include improper holding temperatures, cross-contamination, and inadequate hand-washing facilities. Former KFC regional manager William Davis revealed in a viral LinkedIn post that labor cuts have made proper operations virtually impossible. Corporate mandated staffing levels that physically cannot handle food prep, cooking, serving, cleaning, and quality control simultaneously. The choice became either serve questionable food quickly or good food slowly. Neither option keeps customers coming back. The financial strain on franchisees has become unsustainable. According to documents filed in a California class action lawsuit, the average KFC franchisee now operates at a 2.7% profit margin compared to 8 to 12% industry standards, with nearly 40% of locations losing money outright in 2024. KFC is caught in a perfect storm, explains restaurant economist Sarah Jameson. Rising chicken prices, labor costs, and rent increases are squeezing margins from one side, while declining customer counts due to quality and consistency issues are shrinking revenue from the other. Something has to give, and unfortunately, that something appears to be KFC itself. Number 8. Dairy Queen. The ice cream chain that once symbolized summer family treats across America is melting away before our eyes. Dairy Queen, with its iconic red and white logo and blizzard treats, is facing an existential crisis in 2025. According to QSR Magazine's annual franchise report, Dairy Queen has closed over 500 U.S. locations since 2022, with another 400 expected to shut their doors permanently by the end of 2025. These aren't just underperforming stores. Many were once profitable locations that simply can't survive in today's economic climate. Dairy Queen has the worst possible business model for the current environment, explains restaurant finance analyst Jason Peterson. They're heavily seasonal in most markets, rely on high-margin items that have become luxury purchases for many families, and operate primarily on an outdated standalone store model with high overhead. The numbers tell a devastating story. According to data from franchise disclosure documents, the average Dairy Queen now requires over $1.2 million in initial investment but delivers only $80,000, $120,000 in annual profit, a return that's simply not attractive enough to bring in new franchisees or even retain existing ones. Industry veteran and former Dairy Queen multi-unit operator Linda Michaels explained in a restaurant business interview, 15 years ago, I could run a DQ with 14 employees and reasonable food costs. Today, I need 20-plus employees due to regulatory requirements. My dairy costs have tripled, and energy costs for keeping all that ice cream frozen have gone through the roof. The math simply doesn't work anymore. The product itself is also problematic in today's health-conscious America. While other restaurant categories have successfully introduced healthier options, Dairy Queen's core offering, high-sugar, high-fat ice cream treats, remains fundamentally at odds with modern dietary preferences. Dairy Queen is the epitome of an occasional indulgence, says nutritionist Dr. Emma Richards. But when that blizzard costs $7.99 instead of $3.99 and contains a day's worth of sugar in one serving, many families are simply choosing to skip it altogether or find alternatives. Those alternatives are increasingly abundant. From local artisanal ice cream shops to grocery store premium pints to healthier froyo chains, consumers have more choices than ever for frozen treats that make Dairy Queen feel outdated by comparison. The chain's attempts to modernize have been half-hearted and ineffective. Their mobile app ranks last among major food chains in user satisfaction, with a dismal 2.3-star rating. Store renovations have been inconsistent, creating a patchwork of locations ranging from modern to severely outdated, sometimes within the same city. Dairy Queen's corporate leadership appears to have accepted a managed decline strategy, says retail analyst Robert Kim. Instead of investing in innovation to save the brand, they're focused on extracting maximum short-term profit from existing locations while they still can. Perhaps most telling is the rapid acceleration of closures in warm weather states like Florida, Texas, and California, markets where Dairy Queen should theoretically thrive year-round. When a chain can't succeed in its ideal operating environment, the prognosis for national survival is grim indeed. Number 9. Five Guys. Five Guys burst onto the national scene in the early 2000s as the antidote to processed fast food burgers. With fresh beef patties, hand-cut fries, and customizable toppings, they pioneered the better burger category that transformed America's fast food landscape. But in 2025, this once unstoppable chain is showing alarming signs of collapse. According to location data from Placer.ai, Five Guys has already closed over 270 locations since late 2023, representing nearly 15% of their U.S. footprint. More concerning, their remaining restaurants are experiencing foot traffic declines of 22 to 37% compared to 2019 levels. Five Guys has been caught in an unsustainable position between fast food and fast casual, explains restaurant analyst Patricia Dominguez. Their prices have reached levels that customers expect to come with table service, alcohol options, and a more upscale environment, none of which Five Guys offers. The pricing issue has become Five Guys' most significant vulnerability. A basic hamburger, fries, and drink now costs over $20 in most markets, a 70% increase since 2019. This price point puts Five Guys in direct competition with casual dining restaurants that offer a more complete experience. Social media is filled with sticker shock reactions from former loyal customers. One viral TikTok from February 2025 showed a receipt for 2 burgers, 2 fries, and 2 drinks totaling $47.38, generating millions of views and thousands of comments echoing similar experiences. Five Guys was founded on the principle of simple, high-quality burgers at a reasonable premium over fast food, says food historian David Chang. But they've abandoned that value proposition entirely. When a basic burger costs $12.14 without cheese, They've priced themselves beyond what their core customers can justify, especially in an economic climate where discretionary spending is tightly constrained. The chain's operational model has also proven problematic. Their kitchen setup, designed for the fresh preparation that was once their calling card, creates long wait times that today's consumers increasingly refuse to tolerate. Average order fulfillment time has grown to over 8 minutes compared to 2-3 minutes at traditional fast food restaurants. Even the food quality that once set Five Guys apart has become inconsistent. Former corporate trainer Miguel Sanchez revealed in an industry forum that cost-cutting measures implemented in 2023 included reducing beef quality specifications and cutting fry cooking time to save oil usage. The fries that made Five Guys famous are now frequently undercooked, and the burgers are smaller with lower quality beef, Sanchez stated. Customers absolutely notice these changes, even if they can't precisely identify what's different. Franchisees are caught in an impossible situation. According to documents filed in a pending class action lawsuit, the average Five Guys franchisee saw profit margins shrink from 12% in 2019 to just 3.5% in 2024, despite multiple price increases. Many are simply choosing to close rather than continue operating at a loss. Five Guys expanded too rapidly without the infrastructure to maintain consistency, explains restaurant consultant Mark Williams. They've drifted away from their founding principles while raising prices to unsustainable levels. It's a textbook case of a chain losing its identity while simultaneously losing touch with its customers' economic reality. Unless Five Guys can reconnect with what once made them special and find a way to deliver that experience at a price point customers can actually afford, their decline appears set to accelerate through 2025 and beyond. Number 10. Chipotle. Chipotle was once the darling of the fast casual revolution, promising food with integrity that would transform how Americans think about quick-service dining. But in 2025, this former Wall Street favorite is experiencing a stunning reversal of fortune that has both customers and investors abandoning ship. According to fiscal reports, Chipotle has closed over 160 locations in the past 18 months, the first significant contraction in the chain's history. More alarming is the 11% decline in same-store sales across remaining locations, a figure CEO Thomas Wilson described as challenging but temporary in an earnings call that sent the company's stock plummeting 24% in a single day. Chipotle's problems begin with price points that have become completely disconnected from value, explains consumer economist Sarah Jenkins. Their average check size has increased by over 60% since 2019, while portion sizes have visibly decreased. The combination has shattered the value equation for many formerly loyal customers. Social media is filled with portion comparison videos documenting what users call #Chipotlation, the shrinking sizes of burritos and bowls while prices continue to climb. One particularly viral comparison showed a 2019 steak burrito bowl next to a 2025 version, revealing dramatically smaller protein portions despite a price increase from $9.25 to $14.99. Even more damaging has been the chain's retreat from the food with integrity promise that once defined the brand. In 2023, Chipotle quietly removed their commitment to 100% responsibly raised meat from their website, replacing it with vaguer language about goals and targets. Investigative reporting by Consumer Food Watch revealed the change came after the chain began sourcing from conventional suppliers to reduce costs. Chipotle built its entire brand identity around ethical sourcing, says food systems researcher Dr. Elena Rodriguez. Abandoning that commitment while maintaining premium pricing is fundamentally dishonest, and consumers have noticed. Once trust is broken, especially around food claims, it's nearly impossible to rebuild. Former Chipotle supply chain director James Chen confirmed these changes in an anonymous interview with Restaurant Business Insider. The pressure to maintain profit margins while facing 30 to 40% increases in meat and produce costs forced compromises that directly contradicted our public messaging. Many executives worried we were undermining our own brand identity, but financial pressures won out. Operational issues have further damaged the customer experience. According to the American Customer Satisfaction Index, Chipotle's customer service rating has fallen from 81 in 2019 to just 72 in early 2025, one of the steepest declines in the quick service category. Common complaints include incorrect orders, understaffed restaurants, and digital ordering systems that frequently malfunction. The chain's aggressive push toward digital ordering has created additional problems. Many locations now dedicate over 75% of their production capacity to fulfilling online and delivery orders, leaving in-store customers facing long waits in understaffed, chaotic restaurants. Chipotle appears to have forgotten that their in-store experience was once a key differentiator, says restaurant consultant Lisa Park. The assembly line where customers could interact with staff and customize their order was revolutionary when introduced. Now many locations feel like fulfillment centers with a counter, not restaurants. Health and safety concerns continue to haunt the brand as well. Despite promises of enhanced food safety protocols following earlier E. coli and norovirus outbreaks, a series of food safety incidents in late 2024 generated renewed concerns about the chain's practices. A widely publicized salmonella outbreak linked to Chipotle locations in 3 states resulted in 87 confirmed illnesses and reignited memories of the chain's troubled history with foodborne illness. Chipotle is the classic case of a brand that grew too quickly, compromised its founding principles, and then tried to maintain premium pricing despite delivering a diminished experience, says restaurant economist Dr. Michael Barnes. That's simply not sustainable in today's market where consumers have more options than ever and are increasingly value-conscious. Number 11, Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza has been Papa John's slogan for decades. But in 2025, customers are asking, where's the better part? This once dominant pizza chain is experiencing a collapse so severe that industry analysts question whether it can survive in its current form. According to location data from Scrape.io, Papa John's has closed over 400 U.S. locations in the past 2 years alone, reducing their domestic footprint by approximately 12%. Same-store sales have declined for 7 consecutive quarters, with the most recent quarter showing a devastating 9.2% drop. Papa John's is caught in a brutal competitive vice, explains food industry analyst Jason Miller. On one side, Domino's has perfected the delivery technology and logistics that today's customers expect. On the other, local pizzerias offer authentic quality that Papa John's simply can't match. They're stuck in a middle ground that appeals to fewer customers every day. The chain's reputation never fully recovered from founder John Schnatter's controversies, but its current problems extend far beyond lingering brand damage. Customer complaints about quality, consistency, and value have reached unprecedented levels. Social media is filled with examples of Papa John's pizza arriving with sparse toppings, undercooked dough, and incorrect orders. The subreddit r Papa John's Fails has grown to over 180,000 members who document particularly egregious examples of quality decline. One viral post from January 2025 compared a Papa John's Works pizza from 2018 with one ordered in 2025, showing dramatically reduced toppings despite a 45% higher price. I counted exactly 9 pepperoni slices on a large pizza that cost $25, wrote the poster in a complaint that resonated with thousands of similarly disappointed customers. Former Papa John's corporate chef Robert Martinez revealed in an industry forum that a series of cost-cutting measures implemented since 2023 have significantly impacted the product. Cheese specifications were changed to include more fillers, sauce recipes were reformulated to use more water and less tomato paste, and topping portion controls were tightened to levels that make a properly covered pizza impossible to create even if employees follow the guidelines exactly. The chain's digital experience, once innovative in the pizza category, now lags far behind competitors. The Papa John's app has a dismal 2.7-star rating across platforms, with common complaints about crashed orders, payment processing errors, and delivery tracking that simply doesn't work. Meanwhile, Domino's continues to refine their industry-leading digital experience, while smaller chains have adopted white-label solutions that provide superior functionality. Papa John's franchisees are feeling the pain acutely. According to documents filed in an ongoing lawsuit, the average Papa John's location saw profit margins shrink from 10% in 2019 to just 1.8% in 2024, despite multiple price increases. Many franchisees are simply abandoning their investments rather than continue operating at a loss. Papa John's corporate leadership has failed to address the fundamental issues with the brand, says restaurant consultant Sarah Peterson. Instead of fixing quality problems, improving digital infrastructure, or rebuilding customer trust, they've focused on short-term promotions and gimmicks that don't address the core reasons people have stopped ordering from them. Even the chain's attempts at menu innovation have fallen flat. Limited-time offerings like the Shakaroni pizza and various specialty crusts have failed to drive sustainable traffic increases, while diverting attention and resources from improving the core product. Papa John's decline represents a textbook case of a chain spiraling downward, explains hospitality professor Dr. Michael Chen. Lower sales lead to cost-cutting measures, which reduce quality and drive away more customers, creating a vicious cycle that's incredibly difficult to break. Without dramatic intervention focused on product quality and value perception, Papa John's may not survive as a national chain beyond 2025. Number 12. Panera Bread. Panera Bread once defined the fast casual revolution, offering a seemingly perfect middle ground between fast food convenience and casual dining quality. In 2025, however, this once unstoppable chain is experiencing a shocking reversal of fortune that has both industry insiders and loyal customers wondering what went wrong. According to location data compiled by Restaurant Data Pro, Panera has closed over 250 locations since late 2023, representing nearly 10% of their U.S. footprint. More troubling, same-store sales have declined for 5 consecutive quarters, with the most recent quarter showing an 8.3% drop, numbers that CEO David Manson described as disappointing but reflective of broader industry challenges in an earnings call that failed to reassure investors. Panera has priced itself out of its own market, explains consumer economist Lisa Rodriguez. When a basic soup and sandwich combo crosses the $18 threshold, as it now has in most markets, customers expect a dining experience that Panera simply doesn't provide. They've created fast food at casual dining prices. The pricing disconnect has become the most common customer complaint across social media platforms. One viral TikTok from February 2025 showed a receipt for a You Pick 2 combo, small coffee, and cookie totaling $24.87, generating millions of views and thousands of comments echoing similar experiences. Former Panera district manager Thomas Chen revealed in an industry podcast that corporate pressure to maintain profit margins in the face of rising ingredient costs led to a series of compromises. We reduced portion sizes across nearly every menu category while simultaneously raising prices. A bowl of soup in 2025 contains about 25% less product than the same bowl did in 2019, but costs nearly 70% more. Quality issues have compounded the value problem. Customers frequently complain about bread that's no longer baked fresh in stores, soups that taste increasingly processed, and salads with wilted ingredients and missing components. The sandwich assembly line, once a showcase of fresh ingredients, now frequently features pre-packaged, pre-sliced vegetables and meats that sit in refrigerated bins for hours. Panera built its reputation on freshness and quality, says food industry analyst Rebecca Johnson. But systematic cost-cutting measures have transformed them into something much closer to conventional fast food, just at premium prices. It's the worst of both worlds. The chain's aggressive push toward digital ordering and delivery has created additional friction points. Many locations now allocate 60 to 70% of their kitchen capacity to fulfilling online orders, leaving in-store customers facing long waits in increasingly understaffed cafes. According to Customer X data, Panera's in-store wait times have increased by 140% since 2019, while order accuracy has declined by 22%. Even the physical spaces that once defined the Panera experience have suffered. Store design changes have prioritized order pickup areas and delivery driver access over the comfortable seating that once made Panera a destination for remote workers, students, and casual meetings. Many locations have removed power outlets, limited Wi-Fi access to 30-minute sessions, and reduced seating capacity to discourage lingering. Panera seems to have forgotten what made them special in the first place, says restaurant strategist Julie Park. They created a third place where people could enjoy quality food in a comfortable environment that wasn't quite fast food but more accessible than a full-service restaurant. That space has been systematically dismantled in favor of a grab-and-go model that doesn't justify their price points. Franchisees are caught in the middle of this identity crisis. According to documents filed in a pending class action lawsuit, the average Panera franchisee saw profit margins decline from 14% in 2019 to just 4.2% in 2024, despite implementing all corporate mandated price increases and cost-cutting measures. Panera is experiencing what happens when a brand loses its way, explains restaurant economist Dr. Alan Morris. They've abandoned the core attributes that built their customer base while failing to evolve in ways that actually meet changing consumer needs. It's a textbook example of how even successful chains can unravel when they forget their fundamental value proposition. Number 13, Panda Express. The orange chicken empire that introduced millions of Americans to Chinese-inspired fast food is facing unprecedented challenges in 2025. Panda Express, once among the fastest-growing restaurant chains in America, is now contracting rapidly with no clear path to recovery. According to QSR Magazine's annual chain report, Panda Express has closed over 350 locations since 2023, with another 200 slated for closure by the end of 2025. System-wide sales have declined by 17% compared to their 2022 peak, despite aggressive promotions and menu innovations designed to lure back customers. Panda Express is suffering from both internal challenges and external market forces, explains restaurant consultant Jennifer Lin. On one hand, their food quality and value proposition have declined significantly. On the other, American consumers now have access to more authentic Asian food options through both physical restaurants and delivery apps. The most visible issue is portion size reduction coupled with steep price increases. A standard 2-entree plate that cost $9.50 in 2019 now exceeds $15 in most markets, a 60% increase while containing noticeably less food. Social media is filled with customer complaints about half-empty containers and shrinking protein portions. One viral TikTok from January 2025 showed a 2-entree plate containing what appeared to be less than a quarter cup of orange chicken and a small scoop of fried rice. "I paid $16.79 for what looks like a sample, not a meal," wrote the poster in a complaint that garnered over 7 million views and sparked the trending hashtag #PandaPortions. Former Panda Express Operations Director Sandra Chen revealed in an industry forum that corporate mandated significant changes to food preparation and portion control in 2023. Protein portions were reduced by 20 to 25% across all entrees. Sauce recipes were reformulated to use more cornstarch and less of the actual flavoring ingredients, and side portions of rice and vegetables were standardized at notably smaller amounts. These quality compromises have alienated longtime customers, particularly as prices have climbed to levels that put Panda Express in competition with sit-down Asian restaurants offering more authentic cuisine and better dining experiences. Panda Express created a category by offering simplified, Americanized Chinese food at affordable prices in convenient locations, says food historian Dr. Michael Wong. But they've abandoned the affordability that was central to their appeal while competitors have improved their offerings. When customers can get more authentic, better-tasting food for similar prices, Panda's competitive advantage evaporates. The chain's mall-centric real estate strategy has become another significant liability. With approximately 40% of their locations in shopping malls and retail centers, Panda Express has been disproportionately impacted by declining mall traffic and retail closures. Many of their highest volume locations from the 2010s are now in half-empty shopping centers with fraction of their previous foot traffic. Even attempts at innovation have fallen flat. The chain's plant-based Beyond Orange Chicken, introduced nationally in 2023, failed to gain traction with either vegetarians, who found it too similar to the original's sweet-heavy flavor profile, or meat eaters, who balked at paying a $2 premium for the plant-based version. Panda Express appears to be in managed decline mode, says retail analyst Robert Kim. Instead of investing to address fundamental issues with food quality, portion sizes, and value perception, they're focusing on extracting maximum short-term profit from existing locations through price increases and cost-cutting. That's never a sustainable strategy. The company's tight-lipped family ownership, Panda Express, remains privately held by founders Andrew and Peggy Chung, has prevented the kind of transparency that might reassure investors or franchisees about future plans. Industry rumors suggest the founders may be preparing for either a sale or significant restructuring that would transform the chain into a much smaller footprint focused only on high-traffic locations. Panda Express redefined American Chinese food for a generation, says restaurant economist Sarah Peterson. But unless they can reconnect with what originally made them successful, consistent quality at accessible prices, they're likely to continue their rapid contraction throughout 2025 and beyond. Number 14, Popeyes. Popeyes changed the fast food landscape forever with their 2019 chicken sandwich, creating a viral sensation that had Americans lined up around blocks and sparked what became known as the Chicken Sandwich Wars. But in 2025, the chain that once looked poised to challenge industry giants is instead fighting for survival. According to location data from Chain Exchange, Popeyes has closed over 280 U.S. locations since mid-2023, with another 200 expected to shutter by the end of 2025. Same-store sales have declined for 4 consecutive quarters, with the most recent quarter showing a troubling 7.8% drop. Popeye's spectacular rise and subsequent fall offers a masterclass in mismanaging success, explains fast food industry analyst Marcus Johnson. They captured lightning in a bottle with their chicken sandwich but failed to build a sustainable business model around that initial triumph. The problems begin with consistency and quality control. The legendary chicken sandwich that drove the chain's expansion now bears little resemblance to the product that generated hours-long lines in 2019. Social media is filled with disappointed customers sharing images of sad, flattened sandwiches with minimal sauce, wilted pickles, and smaller chicken fillets. One viral comparison post from February 2025 placed a 2019 Popeyes chicken sandwich next to a current version, revealing a product roughly 30% smaller with visibly less crispy breading and a significantly thinner chicken piece, all while the price has increased from $3.99 to $7.49 in most markets. Former Popeyes regional manager Alicia Washington revealed in an industry podcast that corporate mandated significant changes to the sandwich in late 2022. They reduced the size specifications for acceptable chicken breasts, changed the breading to meat ratio to use less chicken, and modified the brining process to reduce costs. Everyone in operations knew these changes would impact the product that made us famous, but margin pressures won out over quality concerns. Operational issues have further damaged the customer experience. According to mystery shopper data compiled by ServiceCheck, Popeyes locations have the longest average drive-through wait time in the fast food industry at 9.2 minutes, nearly twice the industry average. In-store wait times are even worse, with many customers reporting 20-minute waits even during non-peak hours. Popeyes expanded too rapidly following their chicken sandwich success without building the operational infrastructure to support that growth, says restaurant consultant Lisa Chen. They opened hundreds of new locations without adequate training systems, consistent food preparation standards, or efficient kitchen designs. The result is a chaotic customer experience that varies wildly from one location to another. These operational challenges have led to catastrophic employee turnover rates. According to industry publication QSR Magazine, Popeyes restaurants experience an average annual staff turnover rate of 182%, meaning they completely replace their entire staff nearly twice every year. This constant churn makes consistent execution nearly impossible. The chain's menu expansion strategy has further complicated operations while diluting their identity. After the chicken sandwich's success, Popeyes rushed to launch dozens of new products, from blackened chicken sandwiches to chicken nuggets to breakfast items in select markets. This menu bloat has overwhelmed already struggling kitchens while confusing customers about what Popeyes actually stands for. Popeyes' decline stems from a fundamental misunderstanding of their own success, explains food marketing professor Dr. Anthony Harris. The chicken sandwich succeeded because it was an exceptional product that delivered remarkable value. Instead of focusing on maintaining that quality and value proposition, they tried to leverage the halo effect to sell inferior products at premium prices. Once consumers feel deceived, winning them back is extraordinarily difficult. Franchisees are bearing the brunt of these missteps. According to documents filed in a multi-state class action lawsuit, Popeyes franchisees have seen average unit profits decline by 63% since 2021, despite implementing all corporate-mandated price increases. Many are simply walking away from their investments rather than continue operating at a loss. Popeyes provides a cautionary tale about the dangers of prioritizing short-term growth over sustainable excellence, says restaurant economist Dr. Elena Rodriguez. Without dramatic intervention focused on product quality and operational consistency, we may witness the collapse of a chain that just a few years ago seemed positioned to become a fast food powerhouse. Number 15. Starbucks. The green mermaid logo once represented more than coffee. It symbolized a third place between home and work where Americans could gather, connect, and enjoy premium beverages in a comfortable environment. In 2025, however, that vision has all but vanished as Starbucks faces an unprecedented crisis that threatens its position in American culture. According to location data from RetailScape, Starbucks has closed over 800 U.S. locations since 2023, with another 600 slated for closure by the end of 2025. More troubling, same-store sales have declined for 3 consecutive quarters, with the most recent showing a 5.2% drop, figures that new CEO Brian Niccol characterized as reflecting transition challenges in an earnings call that sent the company's stock to a 5-year low. Starbucks has abandoned virtually everything that once made it special, explains coffee industry analyst Jennifer Morris. The handcrafted beverage experience has been replaced by automated machines. The comfortable third-place environment has been sacrificed for mobile pickup efficiency, and prices have reached levels that make daily visits unsustainable for most consumers. The most visible change has been the systematic removal of seating areas and community spaces that once defined the Starbucks experience. Over 70% of U.S. Starbucks locations have been remodeled since 2022 to prioritize mobile pickup counters, delivery driver access, and grab-and-go functionality, often reducing seating capacity by 50 to 75% in the process. Starbucks created a category by offering a premium coffee experience in a comfortable environment, says retail strategist Michael Chen, but they've systematically dismantled that environment while maintaining premium pricing. Customers are increasingly asking why they should pay $7 for a latte they have to consume in their car or at their desk. Price increases have accelerated the customer exodus. A standard grande latte that cost $4.15 in 2019 now exceeds $7 in most urban markets, a 70% increase that far outpaces inflation. Social media is filled with Starbucks receipt shock posts, with the hashtag #LastStarbucks trending among former loyal customers, documenting their final visits before switching to more affordable alternatives. Quality issues have compounded the value problem. The introduction of the Siren system, automated machines that standardize beverage preparation with minimal barista input, has noticeably impacted drink consistency and customization options. Customers frequently complain about incorrect orders, drinks that taste mechanical compared to handcrafted versions, and the loss of the personalized experience that once justified Starbucks' premium prices. Former Starbucks district manager Thomas Reynolds revealed in an industry forum that the automation push was accompanied by significant changes to ingredient specifications. Milk steaming temperatures were lowered to speed preparation, espresso shot parameters were adjusted to use less coffee, and many syrups and sauces were reformulated with cheaper ingredients. These changes saved money but noticeably impacted the products that built customer loyalty. The company's mobile ordering system, initially an innovation that delighted customers, has become a source of frustration. With over 70% of orders now coming through digital channels at many locations, in-store customers often face long waits behind dozens of mobile orders. According to Mobile Order Metrics, the average wait time for a mobile order pickup has increased from 4.2 minutes in 2020 to over 8 minutes in 2025, with peak time waits frequently exceeding 15 minutes. Worker dissatisfaction has further damaged the customer experience. Widespread unionization efforts, with over 450 stores now unionized, reflect deep employee concerns about working conditions, staffing levels, and corporate priorities. High-profile labor disputes have tarnished the brand's once progressive image, while chronic understaffing has made consistent execution nearly impossible at many locations. Starbucks is suffering from a fundamental identity crisis, explains food service consultant Rebecca Johnson. They want to be a premium brand with premium prices, but they're delivering a fast food experience with automated preparation and grab-and-go service. That disconnect becomes more unsustainable with each price increase. The leadership transition following longtime CEO Howard Schultz's final departure has further complicated the company's response to these challenges. New CEO Brian Niccol, recruited from Chipotle in late 2023, has struggled to articulate a coherent vision for the brand's future beyond cost-cutting measures and store closures. Starbucks' decline represents the danger of forgetting what made you successful in the first place, says restaurant economist Dr. Michael Barnes. They created a category by offering a premium experience that justified premium prices. By systematically dismantling that experience while maintaining or increasing those prices, they've opened the door for competitors at both the high end and low end of the coffee market to steal their once loyal customers. So what does the future hold for these once dominant chains? The brutal truth is that the American fast food landscape is experiencing its most dramatic transformation since the post-war boom that created it. Economic pressures, shifting consumer preferences, labor challenges, and the rise of digital alternatives have created a perfect storm that's exposing fundamental weaknesses in business models that remained unchanged for decades. Restaurant industry expert Dr. Lisa Chen puts it bluntly, "We're witnessing a mass extinction event in American fast food. Chains that can't adapt to new economic realities and consumer expectations won't just struggle, they'll disappear entirely." The most troubling aspect? This isn't just about burgers and fries. These restaurants represent hundreds of thousands of jobs, billions in economic activity, and deeply embedded cultural touchpoints for generations of Americans. When they vanish, they leave behind more than empty storefronts. They leave holes in the American experience itself. So the next time you drive past your favorite fast food restaurant, you might want to stop in while you still can. By this time next year, it may exist only in your memories.